Michael Masi, former F1 race director, currently in witness protection. I felt like I was the most hated man in the world. I got death threats, people saying they were going to come after me and my family. The messages were shocking, racist, abusive, vile. They called me every name under the sun. And they kept on coming, not just on my Facebook, but also on my LinkedIn, which is supposed to be a professional platform for business. They went after him on LinkedIn, which is supposed to be a professional platform for business. Although, I found Michael Masi on LinkedIn, and on his profile he's put, Michael Masi, former F1 race director, 5'10", 185 pounds, 7.5 inches, looking to suck and fuck. Business. The last time anybody saw Michael Masi alive was at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where he made some perfectly reasonable decisions that had no effect on the sport whatsoever. That's a joke. After the race, the FIA fired Masi and replaced him with 2 people. First, we have this man. His name is Eduardo Freitas. He looks like Charles Bronson if Charles Bronson had a stroke. He was the race director for the World Endurance Championship, which, to be fair, is way more complicated than F1. They have over 60 cars divided into separate categories. They have GT Am, GT Pro, LMP1, LMP2, and LMP fucking hell. They race for up to 24 hours over day and night, and even in the fucking snow. Yeah, take that F1. Putting your gazebos up every time there's a bit of drizzle. These are real men. And women, excuse me. And even the devil himself races in the World Endurance Championship. And that's what B-Tech Bronson was in charge of before he was drafted in to replace Michael Masi. The other fella they drafted in is a man called Niels Vitic. I found 2 pictures of him, one where he is skinny and one where he is fat. He was the race director for DTM, a German touring car championship. Loads of F1 drivers have competed in DTM. Alex Albon, David Coulthard, Mika Hakkinen, John Lacey, Ralf Schumacher, Robert Kubica, Timo Glock, and even the devil himself raced in DTM. Why is Paul di Resta everywhere? He's like a fucking disease. And while I was looking at all of this, I stumbled upon a video. I don't know why I'm saying it like a secret. I stumbled upon a video of Paul di Resta getting really angry on the radio in the middle of a DTM race. Do you want to see it? It's pretty funny. Alright, this is Paul di Resta getting his knickers in a twist.
I said
the radio didn't fucking work. My fucking radio doesn't work. Don't speak to me. I can't.
Alright, Paul. Bloody hell. Your radio doesn't work. But we can all hear you just fine. And you can obviously hear your engineer because you're screaming back at him. Why are you lying for? But getting back to the main point, Michael Masi, fired by the FIA as the race director and replaced by these 2. So which is better, the nerds that play everything by the book, or the rebel that does what he wants? Length or girth? Missionary or piss pig? Well, let's compare, starting with these 2. At the Italian Grand Prix, Max Verstappen was about to win the race. He had a 16-second lead over Charles Leclerc with only 6 laps to go. It was over. But then Daniel Ricciardo pulled over to the side of the track, bringing out the safety car. Everybody pits for new tyres. It looks like we're going to get a grandstand finish. And then it slowly became apparent there wasn't enough time left in the race to complete the full safety car procedure. All the lapped cars have to unlap themselves, and then the safety car has to do another lap before the race restarts. And we were already on lap 50 out of 53. So B-Tech Bronson and Fatboy Slim just sat back and let it finish behind the safety car. The nerve! That's boring. Now, let's see how Michael Masi does it, because he knows how to put on a fucking show. At the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton was about to win the World Championship. He had a 12-second lead over Max Verstappen with only 5 laps to go. It was over. But then Dickhead shags it into the wall, like he always does, bringing out the safety car. Verstappen pits for new tyres. Hamilton stays out. It looks like we're going to get a grandstand finish. And then it slowly became apparent there wasn't enough time left in the race to complete the full safety car procedure. All the lapped cars had to unlap themselves, and then the safety car has to do another lap before the race restarts. And we were already on lap 57 out of 58. Any other cock would have let the race finish behind the safety car, but this is the massive. First, he barricaded himself inside race control. Then he orders only the 5 cars in between Lewis and Max to fuck off so they were right next to each other. Then he immediately brings the safety car in without doing the extra lap. Then he kicks Rosa Parks off a bus. Then he restarted the race. Verstappen overtakes Hamilton. Toto Wolff has a nervous breakdown. Christian Horner has an orgasm. The championship turned upside down on the final lap of the season. Toto comes on the radio. Michael, you need to reinstate the lap before. That's not right. Masi claps back at him. Toto, it's called a motor race. We went car racing. Suck your mum. Mercedes launch a protest. All the lawyers get involved. Every news channel in the entire world is talking about it. And Masi just walks out of there like nothing even happened. Michael Masi was a thug bitch. Yeah, he went a bit off the rails, but were you not entertained? I was. Well, one group of people who were definitely not entertained were the FIA. They conducted an internal investigation which revealed Masi was indeed a thug bitch, and what happened in Abu Dhabi was far too entertaining. So to make sure nothing that entertaining ever happens again in Formula 1, they fired Masi and replaced him with these 2 squares. Well, congratulations, because it worked. So the Italian Grand Prix ended behind the safety car. All the drivers were annoyed, all the people watching it on TV were annoyed, and Michael Masi was spinning in his grave. But nobody had a worse time at the Italian Grand Prix than the people that went to the Italian Grand Prix. How can I explain what happened to the fans at Monza? Have you seen the film The Pianist with Adrian Brody? It's about the Holocaust. I'm not comparing what happened to the fans at Monza with what happened to the Jews in the Second World War. However, that scene where the Nazi officers raid an apartment building and throw a man in a wheelchair over a balcony, that's not so much of a stretch from what they were doing to the fans at Monza. There was a lady who was live tweeting her experience at Monza. She posted this picture of herself lying on the floor outside the racetrack because she couldn't make it into the racetrack because nobody would help her. She has a leg brace. She's a cripple. Can I say cripple? You can't say cripple. Can I say cripple? I better check. Fuck's sake. I swear down, I mean that's great. List of disability-related terms with negative connotation. There we go. Oh, bloody hell, there's loads. Abnormal, afflicted, batty, bonkers, cretin, challenged, cripple. There we go. Daft, defective, derp, differently abled, dumb, freak, gimp, homebound, imbecile, invalid, lame, lunatic, midget, mutant, polderester, slow, special needs, stricken, thick, unfortunate, vegetable, wacko, window licker. She had a leg brace. The lady with the leg brace. The leg brace lady. The leg brace lady spent the entire day lying on the ground, tweeting at people, trying to get help. But nobody would listen to her. I've sent hundreds of tweets and messages asking for answers and assistance, but no one has replied. I've never felt this disrespected in my life. Had to stay in the side of the road for hours and people would just stare and keep walking. It was heartbreaking. I had been looking forward to this for months and I never even made it to my seats. I was there on the side of the road with my LH hat while people walked in and out. Have never felt so humiliated. I have 2 things to say about this. First of all, I went with my friend and her dad. Where did they go? And have they never heard of a wheelbarrow? Secondly, and not to be insensitive to this lady, but you couldn't have crawled using your upper body strength. If you'd have put your fucking phone down for 3 seconds and stopped tweeting, you could have crawled into the venue like a zombie and made it to your seats in time for lights out. But you didn't even try. You just sat there on your arse. This is just another example of people who don't want to work. Crawl. Or get in the wheelbarrow. Stop complaining. Fucking believable these people are. Unfortunately, after spending all day lying on the ground, she was dragged away by feral dogs into the woods and eaten alive. R.I.P. leg brace lady, shout out to her family. But maybe it was for the best, because the people that actually made it inside the track didn't have a great time either. There were massive lines everywhere for everything. Lines to get into the track, lines to get out of the track, lines to go to the toilet, lines to buy food and drink. There was shit all over the place. The grandstands were overcrowded. People started building their own grandstands out of branches. It was anarchy. And then this video emerged on social media. Some drunk Italian bastards were going around antagonising people for wearing Red Bull merchandise, and then harassing them until they took it off. Another video shows Ferrari fans chanting Verstappen's mother is a whore in Italian. Another video shows them yelling die bastard die every time Verstappen drove past. They were booing him during the post-race interview and on the podium during the national anthem. Now, obviously, Formula One takes this kind of abuse very seriously. For example, whenever it happens to Lewis Hamilton or Mercedes fans are being harassed, F1 immediately put out a statement condemning the behaviour, and Sky Sports F1 can't stop talking about it. But when it happened to Verstappen and Red Bull fans at the Italian Grand Prix, nothing. Not a tweet, not a statement, fuck all. Now, you can look at that with a bit of a tinfoil hat on and say hashtag drive it out only seems to apply when a certain fan base is getting the abuse. And none of this fits in with the mainstream narrative. I don't think it's that deep. I think it's actually incredibly shallow. The real reason why none of this made it into the mainstream media is because the mainstream media was too busy paying tribute to a dead lizard. Oh yeah, they all had time to put a statement out for that. Sky Sports F1 spent the entire pre-show waffling on about how much the Queen meant to everybody. Every interview, the drivers, the team bosses. They had a minute's silence before FP1 on Friday and then another minute's silence before the race on Sunday. How about a minute's silence for the leg brace lady who was devoured by wild dogs? How about a minute's silence for all the people that had to shit in their own hands because they couldn't wait 6 hours for the toilet? How about a minute's silence for Adrian Brody for a magnificent performance? But oh no, because you were too busy pretending to give a shit about Her Majesty's corpse. Meanwhile, in the grandstands, they're putting spastics in a blender. Get your priorities in order. Unbelievable. So the fans were being harassed, there was terrible organisation everywhere, disrespectful behaviour and a dangerous lack of assistance for the cripples. So how do we fix it? Well, the mainstream media's solution is to ignore it and instead talk about the Queen. My solution is a wheelbarrow, but what about the management at the Italian Grand Prix? Italian GP chiefs have expressed their regret at the frustrations F1 fans endured at Monza last weekend, and they released a statement that says, "We sincerely regret that some fans had a bad experience at the Italian Grand Prix. We condemn the harassment some people received for wearing Red Bull merchandise. From now on, everybody will be required to wear the same thing so there is no discrimination." It's not a bad idea. You will be provided with a set of stripy pyjamas as you get off a complimentary train service. Well, we will be shaving everybody's heads on the way into the venue, as well as taking all of their jewellery, possessions, family heirlooms, and dignity. A number will be tattooed on your arm to keep track of venue capacity. You will be reduced to something barely recognisable as human. Then you will be given a complimentary shower. Don't know about that. After the race, all of our staff will go to America to work on the space program formerly known as Operation Paperclip. Children will be required to dig graves for their parents only to be shot in the back of the head once the grave has been dug. Welcome to Monza. Hashtag work will set you free. It started out alright, and I mean, Nazi is literally in the name of the circuit. It was right in front of us the whole time. Open your eyes, people. Now I would like to move on to some more serious news. Williams driver Alex Albon to be replaced by Nick de Vries after suffering appendicitis. If you're wondering what the fuck is an appendix, it's this part of your body. And apparently it serves no real purpose and is a completely useless organ. Like, imagine if Lance Stroll was an organ. That's your appendix. So get well soon, Alex, and shout out to his family. But all of this meant that Williams had a seat to fill for the Italian Grand Prix. So they drafted in some hotshot Dutch kid by the name of Nyck de Vries. Formula Renault World Champion, Formula 2 World Champion, Formula E World Champion, winner of the 6 Hours of Fuji, but now he faces his toughest challenge yet. Nicholas Latifi. There was absolutely no way Latifi was going to let some tight-arse Dutch twat swoop in at the last minute and show him up. That's exactly what happened. He swooped in at the last minute and showed him up. Latifi got knocked out in Q1 as per and then finished 15th in the race. De Vries got himself into Q2 and then finished 9th in the race, scoring 2 points, which is 2 more points than Latifi has scored over the entire season. So that means Latifi is now 22nd in the championship, behind Nyck de Vries and Alex Albon's appendix, because Alex Albon's appendix also has 0 points. And that seems to be the final nail in the coffin for Latifi, because just a few days ago, they announced Latifi is no more. And you know what? I decided I'm not going to let them do this to him. I started a petition to make them keep Nicholas Latifi, and then I announced it on my huge platform. If a petition gets 100,000 signatures, it's considered for debate in the Houses of Parliament. Yeah, imagine them debating whether they should keep Latifi in the Houses of Parliament. All we needed was 100,000 signatures, and guess how many signatures we got? 125. I ask you people to do one thing. So that's it, the end of an era. Nicholas Latifi was a Formula 1 driver for 3 years, and in that time he scored 7 points, 0 wins, 0 podiums, 0 top 5 finishes, but still managed to win the 2021 World Championship. His biggest achievements are crashing a Formula 1 car more times than any other person in human history, getting the fastest lap in FP3 in Hungary, and invading the Middle East on his own to sow the seeds of democracy. R.I.P. Latifi, shout out to his family. So Michael Masi is the only man that can save Formula 1. The Italian Grand Prix management are running a death factory. Red Bull merchandise is the new Star of David. Anne Frank is currently hiding inside an Italian vending machine. And the ghost of the leg brace lady will be haunting the grounds at Monza for the rest of time. Now, before I terminate this broadcast, I would like to apologise to you people, because this video is a bit late. Yeah, the Italian Grand Prix was like 3 weeks ago, and it's almost time for Singapore. And yes, I understand some of you literally have nothing else in your life other than my videos. But over the last few days, all you dickheads commenting on the other videos, messaging me directly on Instagram, asking,
"Where's the video? When's the video coming out?"
Let me explain something to you piss pigs. The videos will come out when they come out, and if they don't come out exactly when you want them to come out, then go outside and chase a butterfly, or do something to distract yourself from whatever miserable fucking hell you people live in. Like and subscribe. Don't like or subscribe. Fuck off.